This is the 2017 Ordinary Level Technical Graphics question 4, an oblique drawing question. Looking at the question, the figure shows the elevation and plan of a four-wheel drive logo. The grid and elevation is made up of 15mm squares and the thickness in plan is 10mm. So I'm going to draw an oblique view of this logo. The solution must be rendered on standard drawing paper. So looking at our drawing board, I'm going to set up the question as so. It's a grid, so the distance across here is given as 240 and the height up here is given as 105. So 10.5. So create the rectangle for this first that the whole thing will fit into. And then we're told that each box on the question is a 5mm square or 15mm square. So we're going to divide the base up into 15mm sections. So mark off the 15, 30, 45 and so on. 65, 75, 90. Keep working your way across. And then when we've got that bit done, we're going to draw vertical lines for each of these between the bottom line and the top line. So these are all drawn lightly. Now I'm going to do the same thing up the sides. This needs to be divided up into same size sections, so 15mm sections again. And drawing horizontal lines for each one of these. So again, light lines. Now once this is set up, we have our grid, we are able to start to form the shape. So that's the 4, the W and the D. So I'm going to start by drawing the 4 first. I'm going to start on the left hand side, and the left hand edge starts 2 blocks up off the bottom. So I'm going to start here, darkening in these 2 boxes here. Then continues up 1, 2, 3 and in 1, 2, 3 to form an angle here, which is going to be 45 degrees. Then comes across horizontal 1 box and down 1 also. So coming back to where we started, I'm going to come in along this way here now next, and it's coming in horizontally 3 boxes. I'm going to come down vertically 2. So just copying the pattern that it gives us in the question. So here up 1, 2, 3 and 4 boxes. So count them out as you're doing it. Make sure you're getting each one right. And that completes the 2D drawing of the 4. Next is the W. W is done the same idea. So starting in one space from where we finished the 4, and we're going to come all the way down bar from the bottom 2 boxes. So up here down to leaving the last 2 blank. In 2 to the right. And then this is where it's going to get a little bit tricky. So we're going to come back to that part of it afterwards. Again, looking at the top, 2 blocks in, skipping 1, and I got another 2 here then. So now we need to figure out where all these lines join to. So this first point here, if we look at our question, joins to this point in here. So joining from this point down to this point, and draw it lightly first. The next one, this point in here, joins to this corner. So this can be drawn in dark as far as the previous line that we've just drawn. So that gives me that part of the shape. Next, continue on. This point here is going to join to the far over point of our W. Again, draw that lightly to start off with. And that intersects a vertical line starting there. So starting 1 over from where the previous one just started. So I'm going to come across here 2. And we're almost finished the W. Light line coming down there first. And then we can start the D part of it. So next part of it, the D is skipping 1 block up on top, and it comes over to the second last one. So you've got that much. Diagonally down 1. And down to staying 1 off the bottom. Now this is going to come all the way back over to this point off over here. So we get an awful lot of this drawn very quickly. Now, so almost finished, just a few more points we need to join up. So this point up here, which is part of the W, is going to join down to this point. And if we were to come over 2 pieces here, that would join to this one down here. So we can darken that over to there, and then darken in this part here also. So there we have it. That's the first part of this drawn, where we've drawn it all as 2D. Now we're going to draw it as a 3D object. So I'm going to draw it as oblique, so I'm going to take either lines back to the left or back to the right. I can't go both directions with it, either left or right. So I'm going to take lines back to the right hand side here. So from each corner, each point, I'm going to take a line of 45 degrees, just a light line. In here it's going to be hidden, there will also be hidden. So that's hidden there, and here also. Any one of those at that side will be underneath and won't be able to see. So measuring back our 10 millimeters as given in the question. An important rule to remember here is, if we have a horizontal line at the front, it's a horizontal line at the back. There's a vertical line down here at the front, so a vertical line down at the back. Same for here, vertical line down. And then one final piece here in the middle, because horizontal line at the front gives us a horizontal line at the back also. So that is the first part that completes the letter or the number 4. Going with W for W now next, again take your lines at 45 degrees from each point. So this one back there would be hidden. Taking each corner, and the angle will have to be the same. So we have a line here measuring back 10 millimeters, horizontal line at the front, horizontal line at the back of the object. This is inclined at an angle, so we'll work out the angle that that's inclined at by taking 10 millimeters back off this here and joining that to this point. Do the same thing for either of these places here. So 10 millimeters. And 10 millimeters on this one, which would join to up here, giving us this line down at the bottom. Almost there. There's one final part, so a few more bits in here to do. So line off 45 degrees, 45 degrees. This point, and this point, it's going to go back 45 degrees, but we can't see it, it's hidden behind it. Same for here, and then finally this last point here at the front. So it's a horizontal line that's this long, so this is going to be the same. Now what I'm doing here is for this line, so that point started here, ended up off here, so I'm going to go back 10 millimeters off both pieces, join them up to the end, and that completes that part of that there. This is the 2017 Ordinary Level Question 4 Oblique.